What's up, y'all? So it's gonna be a little different from the content I usually put out, but I had a little time today, so why not? Tell her.
Told her good luck with your bullshit. I told her good luck with your bullshit. Boy, I'm anointed by Jesus. Swear I should be in the pulpit. Told her good luck with your bullshit. I told her good luck with your bullshit. I'm only attracted to keepers.
The ladies of Temptation Island, specifically the black women, did an interview with Jessie Woo. In my opinion, she's the funniest person on YouTube. Love her content, love her videos. So I wanted to talk about some of the things that the ladies talked about in their interview. I'm also including a link to the full video on her page in the description of this video. So if you haven't watched that yet, please go check it out. It's worth your time. Well, with no further ado, let's get into it.
So I don't know. I actually had a nightmare that they all were attractive the night before, and then I saw them, and I was like, no way. And I feel bad for saying it, but I just like wasn't attracted to any of the guys. I had a nightmare that they were all unattractive. I said, "Oh, Amaya." Wait, did I tell you that? And I was like this. Oh, thanks, she was right. I was like, okay, wait, I told you about that? Yes, you said it.
Wait a minute. So y'all came in like, okay, it's not giving.
Yeah.
I think everybody came in like that.
Exactly.
Y'all know me. I find it hilarious that they didn't find these men attractive. And it's refreshing to see people be honest about that. I probably talk more about attraction than most reviewers just because we live in a time where it's become taboo to talk about people's appearance in a negative light. But it's entirely relevant on these dating shows because dating is about attraction. I just want the same lighthearted energy when and if the men of Temptation Island, the single men, come out talking about the girlfriends not being all that attractive. Let's be fair.
Some conversation. Can y'all kind of let me know what was y'all's take on that when he was talking to you guys about threesomes? Did you feel like he was kind of dry begging y'all for a threesome?
No, not at all. He stuck by his narrative, like beginning to end. So that is all he talked about. There was literally nothing else for him. Like he didn't go into detail about anything real, anything with substance. It was just, oh, I'm this sexual being. Like I love to have threesomes. Like that was it. That was all. What you saw is what it was.
Yeah, that's dry asking. And it worked. You just keep putting it out there into the universe and eventually it comes to you. It's always interesting to me to see women's interpretation of men's actions because a lot of times you just aren't aware of how calculating we can be. That obviously doesn't work on everybody, but for the right ones, in one place you're guaranteed to find the right ones, it's Temptation Island, nigga.
Mia, you're having this conversation with, I think it was with Leno, but he kind of friend zones you.
So a whole situation happened prior to that where...
Because you're emotional in the confessional too. I'm like, did something happen?
So something happened prior to. All the guys were like, oh, Mia, you're going on a date with Leno. Like, he was already talking about it. Like, you're going on this date. Then the whole scene with, like, Alex happened, and then I guess she started getting flirtatious with him, so he decided to take her. Which was out of the blue because all Leno he was really talking to me most of the time. That was like my friend. Like that was like good bro over there. Like, all right, cool. Like, come on. So I was like, why wouldn't you take me out on the date? And that's why I asked. It wasn't because I was heartbroken, but I guess he felt like I was pushing boundaries and then I questioned him a little too much. So he felt some type of way.
If you saw my review of this entire season, I didn't go episode by episode because I binged the whole thing when it first came out. But if you saw my review of the entire season, I mentioned this and I'm not getting off of it. Like Leno is an Italian-American man, right? I'm not saying that all Italian men are racist. Absolutely not. But if you find one that is, you're not surprised. Of course he switched it up when Alex came into the picture because that's what he likes. He's not into black women, and the woman he did like didn't really like him back. I'm staying on Leno's neck, man. He was not noble. He wasn't just being respectful. You know what I mean? He was a simp chasing after a girl who fucked his castmate, hoping that she would fuck him too.
Alex, because Alex was kind of serving it up different than what you were.
For me, being black, it's difficult.
I was going to get to that and ask all y'all, do y'all feel like the men's did not check for y'all because y'all was black?
It depends on what men you were talking about. We did Breon out of the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't check. We weren't their type. We weren't exotic looking. They just weren't looking at us. Like, it wasn't giving what it needed to give. It wasn't even giving me comfort to, like, actually be friends with some of them.
But the Book of Mormon nigga, well, he ain't a nigga. The Book of Mormon nigga, he came for you first.
I will say, like, in my day-to-day, like, life dating experiences, I do tend to be that anomaly girl that they try to date. So that part didn't throw me off.
Okay. So it's obvious. And I touched on this in my review as well. Here's what's happening, in my opinion. Mia and Angel appear to be the serious ones. You know what I mean? Amaya has the whole biracial look, you know, the light, easygoing energy, and Courtney got freak energy. I think Mia and Angel got the cold shoulder from the white guys because they couldn't just strictly sexualize them. They knew they had to actually come with substance to deal with Mia and Angel. They discovered that to be the case with Amaya as well because she came here with a whole other agenda. That's not to say that Courtney doesn't have substance, but Courtney knew where she was and what she was there for. Earlier, she said she also went on Too Hot to Handle. You know what's up with that. So I think the reason that white men go for Courtney may be the same reason Tyler did initially, just to see what can happen, see if they can get a taste. To be clear, I don't mean any of this as a slight to Courtney. I have nothing but love and appreciation for that girl. I think she's beautiful. If you watch the entire interview, you see the way she speaks. Like I like Courtney. I like Courtney a lot. But I'm not surprised if white men don't take her seriously because a lot of times, man, they're just trying to satisfy a fetish. Like I said, man, I think Courtney is a vibe. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. But the only man in that villa that really sees black women, unfortunately for them, was Breon.
No, and Breon, y'all seem to be vibing. Y'all vibed up, and y'all end up having the threesome. Okay, so I want to know, was that his idea or was it really y'all's?
One, like I said, that's all he talked about. So it did become a point where it's like, put your money where your mouth is. You're talking this big game. Mm-hmm. If you're about that life, be about that life. If you're not, shut up. There was actual action happening in the bathroom.
Courtney, he planned that shit, baby. Like, he wanted you and Alex to make him prove it. Like, that was the goal. He wanted to talk so much shit that the right ones would make him back up his words. And that's what happened. I'm just here to tell you. You can believe me or not, but I'm just here to tell you, like, that was the plan. And you walked right into it. Like, I'm not mad at you. Thank you. You know what I mean? But that was the plan.
And he was like, oh, we should journal. And I was like, okay, cool. Journaling sounds innocent, fun, whatever. We're not really doing anything. I also was I think I was the only person who didn't drink. So I was just kind of like, that's why you don't see me. But then when I came to journal with him, then he told me, that was the first time I heard about him, Courtney, and Alex. And I was just like, whoa, we were supposed to be journaling. Whoa, taken aback because one, that's a lot of information. Two, I don't know. It was late at night and I thought we were just like journaling and, you know, supposed to be just have fun talking, whatever. He started talking about intimate details and I was just like, yeah, no. Like, I can't.
Giving you intimate details of his threesome?
No, about Shantae.
Yeah, she came on the wrong show. Doesn't drink. She said she came on there looking for a real relationship with a Christian man. Temptation Island? Not gonna lie though, 22-year-old me would have left that island in a relationship with Amaya. 100%. We'd have been off in the corner talking about kid names and all kind of shit. I was a lover boy for real. Like I would have. We would have been on the same page. That is, if Courtney didn't catch me in the bathroom first.
But you want threesomes. You say you want a woman of God, but you have one and you're mistreating her. Talk to me about that.
Okay, so I grew up in the church. I'm a pastor's kid. I'm used to guys saying, like, yeah, I'm a man of God, and then, like, cheat on their girlfriends, their wives. Like, I've seen that, and it's disgusting. So that's why I started off, like, strong. Like, what did you do? Like, why is this not working with you guys? Why do you long for this, like, dark fantasy?
Solomon was a man of God, too. So was David. This goes out to all the ladies. Man of God does not equal monogamous. I repeat, man of God does not mean he's monogamous. You got to start asking different questions. Like, are you faithful? Do you see yourself being with only one woman? Because he can love the Lord and love hoes too. It's possible. Jesus didn't discriminate against the freaks, man. He hung out with a woman of the night. Your level of freak and your level of faith are not necessarily connected. That's all I'm gonna say. The problem is people aren't honest about who they are. Even today, some people still scrunch their faces at homosexuals in the church. Do they love the Lord any less because they're attracted to people of the same sex? Bottom line, human beings cannot handle sex. We never could. It's too good. It feels too good. Like, we can't take it. It's too much fun. But we live under grace, so we don't have to constantly condemn ourselves for our sexual desires. The problem comes when people start cheating, lying, and hurting each other behind this shit.
The hell they want at the end of the day. And women will only just throw daggers back at other women. And I get what people were mad at me for saying that because they're like, but you hurt another woman. But again, I did.
Nobody's saying as a man you hurt another man.
No one says that. Yeah.
That's a good point.
I do think that
you just checked me on that. It's because I didn't even think about it in that way, but it's true.
Yeah.
Like when you go to the women's house, you have Yemen who's literally like in
kissing. Yes, yes. And so I got those comments on my live too, and I'm like, it's so crazy that you guys are attacking the women for the same thing that the men are doing, and it doesn't matter as much.
Okay, so for context, because the beginning of that video was a little cut off, they're talking about the difference between how the single women are being treated after the show versus the single men, right? And I'm not saying there's no validity to it. I will say this though to counter it. Almost everything the girlfriends did on this show was retaliatory. That's probably why the single men don't get any hate, because they were seen as the saviors, you know what I'm saying, coming in to save these women from these horrible relationships with these awful men, while the single women were the temptresses. Now you can take that and say they're being blamed for these men's actions because they were the ones with actual relationships at stake. But still, I think context is important when talking about how the single men are being treated post-show versus the single women. I don't think any of them should receive hate, frankly, because all they did was provide us with entertainment and something to talk about. But context is important. Overall, it was an entertaining watch. Jessie Woo always does great with these interviews. So like I said, check it out if you haven't already. Definitely subscribe to her channel. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. Catch you next one. Appreciate y'all.
I came empty-handed, but I'm leaving with 3. Plus I made about a G, cause I made them tip me.